Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is Pepe Le Pew, the French skunk. Yes, it's Fifi in another disguise. It's the 105 leFH18B2 French Tier 5 Premium SPG, but in slightly different colours. Yes, Pepe Le Pew. Anyway, this one is being driven by Jan Fighter, and he's on the north spawn of Abbey. And he started out by moving forward, but now he's changed his mind. He's knocked over the camp, and he's heading back for cover. It's very thoughtful of him. Yes, Pepe Le Pew is another skin that was created by Rusty for the Fifi. And only a few people have it, actually, because this was one that he sold. Well, we thought it'd be rather funny if there was a Fifi Le Pew Pew that there was a Pepe Le Pew, as in the French cartoon. Okay, now he's looking for targets, and we've increased our map size so we can see exactly what he's looking for. Okay, we've got an AMX CLC going down the second passage, or the river passage we should say, or the lake passage. I think Lakeside Passage is more appropriate because it is a small lake or pond. Okay, he's detected a KV-1S, and that round hits the wall. Wasn't fully dialed in, but there's a massive number of targets there. Oh my god, what a rich environment. Round goes in. Unfortunately, it misses all of them, and we've lost the AMX CLC. There's almost so many targets here, he can't really miss. And he gets a hit there. KV-1 takes a 111 hit point hit, and he's ready to shoot again. This time he's going for the M4. And he does, he gets a big hit there. 124, and he's only got 4 hit points left, so it won't survive very long. KV-1 rounds out. Another hit. In fact, actually he hit 2 at once. He got the M4 and the KV-1. I think he hit the M4 with splash. Next round's out. And that one misses. He adjusted his aim. Going back to the KV-1 again. Fully dialed in. Rounds out. He can't see them now. But he's marking where he last saw them. And yes, he did get a hit. Because the shell disappeared and there was no explosion. Firing again. And this time he gets an explosion. So they're not there. Or rather, he missed one. There's the KV-1S again. On the corner, and he gets a direct hit on the engine bay, and this time round he tracks it. Okay, he's almost ready to shoot, but he's going for the KV-1 behind, and that KV-1S has been taken out. He gets a direct hit on the KV-1. He's fired another round in. This time again, direct hit on the KV-1. It's the great thing about the Fifi, or rather the Pepe in this case. It does shoot so rapidly, and he's tracked that KV-1 and it's been taken out, so he's picked up some assist. Okay, he's going after the other KV-1 now, and he's hit that for 378 with one shot. That's a massive hit, that one. Did a lot of damage, and he's backing away. He's obviously hurt, and he still splashes him with 11 from a near miss. Next round's out. Look at the wreckage that's around that corner. Huge amount of wreckage. And a lot of damage. And all down to Pepe Le Pew's assistance. Or rather, Jan Fighter, I should say. Because that is the name of the commander. And of course, he's got 2 targets there. In fact, actually, the only enemy's only got 5 tanks left. But they're all so far away, he's going to have to move to get them in range. Okay, he's got them in range now. He can fire at that T-67. He's still moving because the reticule's bouncing around, but he's dialing in his aim now. They're hiding in that little corner. He fires a round in. Long flight. Oh, it misses. The M41's come up onto the rise. In fact, he's trying to escape. He's trying to run away. And that round goes in and falls behind. But the M41's taken out by the T-67. The enemy T-67 is on the other side of the rock face. But he's backing away. He's under attack. from that T67 there, the one who took out the M41. And it looks like Jan's going to be ready, but oh, he fires a round out just as it's killed, so that shell will be wasted. Right, but there's a KV-1 up on the rise there on the west side, and he's attacking the KV-1 on Yan Fighter's side. So Yan Fighter's going to be pumping a few rounds into this KV-1 to really distract it and make it easier for his team to take them out. In fact, actually, his team have run down the sides of the hill. They've disappeared. They've left the KV-1 on his own up on top of the hill. In fact, there's only two enemies left, a T1 Heavy and that KV-1. And he's about to put a shot into that KV-1. Yes, he does. 98 hit points, 1 critical hit. And he's firing another round in. I think they'll be coming up behind him very shortly. The KV-1S is now behind him. And I think he's tracked in place, so he's not going anywhere. And another round hits him, and more critical hits. Yep, I think he's tracking that KV-1, holding it there. Yep, unfortunately though, I think it's about to repair his tracks. Yeah, he has. And he's moving again, but not very far. And that round comes in and tracks him again. Or has he? No, I think he's untracked himself. And that round's gone in. That's tracked him. Oh, he's only got 35 hit points left. He went last. And he's only got 7 left now after that 28 hit point hit. Oh dear. Here we go. And his kill shot. 7 hit points. And he's got his first kill of the game. Right, now let's have a look. Only the T1 Heavy left, but the thing is, there's only 2 members on Yan Fighter's team. The KV-1 and Yan Fighter. Everyone else has died. How did they manage to die so quickly? Well, I suppose it was a combination of the fact that the T1 Heavy was busily taking out all the ones on the east side of the map, whilst we were watching the KV-1 up on that rise. Okay, T1 Heavy has now come over to try and defend his cap. Oh my god, he's just taken out the KV-1S. Oh, the KV-1 rather. And Yan Fighter fires in that round against the T1, but I'm afraid he missed. Fires another round in, but he's all on his own now. So, all he can do is take on that T1 Heavy. Now, this is not an impossible job, and in fact, some people might say, oh, well, he's bound to lose now because it's an Arty versus a Heavy. But you see, you forget that the Fifi, or rather the Peppy, as in this case, the Peppy is a heavy tank in disguise. It's a heavy tank with a 10.5 centimeter howitzer as its main armament. And I don't think that T1 Heavy has a 10.5 centimeter gun. I'm pretty sure they don't. In fact, I can check that right now. And that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm pretty sure it's probably a 76mm or something like that. Right, the main armament is a 76mm. It's the M1A1 gun. So really, he hasn't got a very big gun compared to Peppy. Peppy's got quite a big gun and a hefty amount of damage. He can do big hits with that 10.5 centimeter. Plus, of course, he's got the view range of a heavy tank. He's got a 390 meter view range. Now, it all depends on what that T1 Heavy does. What Peppy's doing is setting up an ambush, hoping that the T1 Heavy will try to go to his cap, and as he does, Peppy will spot him and take him out. Now, if the T1 Heavy comes up the Riverside Road, then of course he'll spot them before they can do any damage to him. As you can see, with a 390 meter view range, he'll probably be able to see the T1 Heavy from where he is if they come up the west side of the map as well as the east side. So he's looking, checking his angles, looking around with his Arty view, although it's not necessary from where he is. Still no sign. I suspect that T1 Heavy is going to be coming towards the cap very soon. Probably only take a couple of shells from that T1 Heavy, from the Fifi, or from the Peppy I should say, to finish him off. Right, okay, he's there. He managed to get round, but they must have come up the far west side. And now, from here... No, he can't see him, so there must be something obstructing the view. And I think it's that big rock that's directly opposite, between him and the cap. But the good news is that he can approach the cap and probably see... Now, that T1 Heavy has left the cap. Is he hunting? He is. And he's been spotted. He's right at the back. He's hunting for the Arty. What a mistake to make. Rounds out. And it's a direct hit. He's firing heat rounds at this T1 Heavy. Heat rounds will do the most damage. Rounds out, but he has to get a direct hit. And if he gets it directly on the front, of course that's the strongest armour. He's only got 3 HE rounds left, but they're probably going to be the best bet for doing a lot of damage. He's only got 1 heat round after the next, so another HE round in. He's hit him again and tracked him. He's still there. Round out, hits him. Now, we don't know how much damage it is, but he's only got 1 round of HE and 1 of heat left. So this is going to be very tight. But the enemy's only got 211 hit points left. Rounds out. Direct hit. He's got only 141 rounds left, and Peppy's only got 1 round of heat left. Round out. And it's a kill shot. 141 hit points, and he takes the game. He wins against the Heavy. That just shows how powerful the 105 leFH18B2 is. It can take on heavies and defeat them. So well done for Yam Fighter. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's a first class tanker for Yam Fighter in the 105 leFH18B2. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10 in that battle. He picked up a Fadin's medal because he used the very last round in his magazine to kill the very last enemy and win the battle. And he picked up a high caliber for getting the most damage in the battle, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. If we have a look at the team scores, we can see that he did 1,825 hit points of damage. He got the highest or joint highest score of kills with 2, and he got the second highest base XP of 799. He was beaten by the KV-1S. Now, he fired 42 rounds, all 42 shots in his magazine. He got 21 direct hits, 19 penetrations, did splash damage of 13. He also did damage of 1,825 hit points, of which 1,684 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, 1 non-penetration, which bounced off him. He blocked damage of 115 hit points. That was from the T1 Heavy, I seem to recall. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2 of them. And damage assistance was 455 hit points, and he stopped 11... made 11 defense points. On a premium count, he earned 47,952 credits, but after ammunition resupply, he took away 30,960 credits, which is a pretty decent score. He managed to earn 1,199 experience points, but he gets a bonus because Peppy is a premium vehicle, and so he took home 1,679 experience points in total. So well done, Yan Fighter, or Pepe La Pew. Nice battle. Great to see a win that way, that an Arty can take on a heavy and wipe them out. A bit of a pity for the T1 heavy driver that he thought he could get an easy kill against an Arty. Well, yeah, not always, I'm afraid. If you enjoyed this replay, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in the next video.